Hey, I'm Laura. I am here to talk to you guys today about another aspect of this parenting class that I've been taking. So what I've been doing as a stay-at-home mom of three, almost four kids, is I've been taking these parenting classes, Loving Your Kids on Purpose and Love and Logic. And I am just trying to share everything I'm learning with you guys because it has absolutely transformed my family, and that's not an exaggeration. Especially with one of my children specifically, this parenting style has changed my relationship with him and therefore like the whole dynamic of our family, and it's been amazing. So I want to share it with you, and I don't know how better to do that than to just tell you examples. So today I want to talk to you about kiddos who have resistance or a fear and anxiety about leaving the home, going to new places like school. This is perfect for school-age children. I'm going to tell you about sending my middle child to kindergarten this week. So last week was first week of school, and I was nervous because in preschool last year, some of the drop-offs were very dramatic. A lot of tears and crying and hugging my leg and peeling him off and handing him to a teacher while he's kicking and screaming. And then I leave crying, and I know he's upset, and the teacher's looking like, oh my goodness. It's such a yucky feeling. And so as school is approaching, I was getting nervous. What's this gonna look like? So actually, the first day of school went great. He was excited and he went right into school, no problem. And I was like, all right, great. Second day of school, he's like, I gotta go back to that place? Like he thought, hey, I did it. I did my kindergarten. I'm done now. And so we had been prepping him that this is Monday through Friday, but he didn't really grasp that. So the next day of school comes, and 20 minutes before he's supposed to leave with Dad, he still doesn't have a shirt on, hasn't finished his breakfast, and hasn't brushed his teeth. So I'm starting to get flustered and worried at this point, and I am absolutely making this whole he's gonna be late for school thing my problem. So overall, the whole premise of this thing is when these situations arise, you have to make sure that you don't make what's going on your problem. Figure out how to turn it around and make it the child's problem. And I'll give you this is the example of that. So I start to say to him, buddy, Daddy's leaving in 20 minutes. You still haven't gotten your shirt on. I've asked you to brush your teeth so many times, and why aren't you eating your breakfast? You know, you can hear in the tone of my voice. He is playing cars. He doesn't care at all that he's about to be late for school. He is carefree, playing these cars, and I am just getting more and more flustered. And then he looks at me and he said, I'm gonna be late for school on purpose today because school is the worst thing ever. And that triggered in my brain like, oh, I know what we're doing here. Okay, I have tools for this. I've been taking classes for this. I know what to do. And I just realized like, okay, time to switch gears. So I kind of got down on his level and I said, oh, okay, so I'm just realizing that you've never done kindergarten before. This is your first year. So let me tell you what that's gonna look like if you decide to be late for school on purpose, okay? And just so you know, here's your choices, but it doesn't matter to me either way because I've got the whole morning open. So for boys that decide to be ready on time, they're gonna leave at 7:55 with Daddy. They're gonna do walking club and they're gonna go to class. And then the boys that decide to be late on purpose, you can go to school late today. I do have to send you to school for sure because it's against the law for mommies not to send you to school. But you can be late because I'll just drive you up there to the school. I'll even walk into the principal's office with you, and I'll stand next to you as you tell the principal why you decided not to come to school on time today. And he goes, huh? I'm going to Daddy. I'm gonna go with Daddy. And he jumps off his chair, gets his shirt on, brushes his teeth, finishes his breakfast. That was the end of the conversation. It's literally like magic. Like even employing these tactics that I'm learning, it surprises me how well it works. I still don't even expect it to work as well as it does. It was like, you just let me know, buddy. I'm happy to do either one. I'll stand next to you as you talk to the principal. You can go with Daddy. Just let me know which one you decide. I'm not yelling. I'm not frustrated. My voice is calm. I've got a smile on my face. Doesn't matter to me, buddy. It's up to you. And it was like, at that point, I took this pressure of I have to get my kid to school on time, transferred it to him of like, hey, this is gonna be your problem. If you don't get to school in time, you at 5 years old get to be the one that looks the principal in the eye and tells her why you decided not to be at school on time today. And what 5-year-old wants to do that, right? So if he had chosen to be late, you have to be willing to follow through. You can't say that and then not be willing to let him be late to school and drive him to school. Call the school ahead of time and say, hey, you know, my kindergarten son's learning about school and he's learning about the importance of being on time for school. So we're gonna come in and we're gonna come in the office and I'm gonna give him a chance to speak with someone and explain why he wanted to be late today. We're just doing a little exercise to learn the importance of being on time for school. So let them know you're coming so that they can be on board. And I think you would find most schools would appreciate a parent, you know, being able to partner with them like that. Because if you can nip it in the bud in the beginning of the school year, hopefully it won't be a battle every single morning for the next 9 months. You know what I mean? Like, it could inconvenience your morning, especially if you're not a stay-at-home parent and you have work to get to. And I know there's so many other things that follow, but if you can have a morning, or maybe plan a morning, if you absolutely couldn't do this, have a mother-in-law or a mom come over and have them be like, okay, for kids that decide to be late on purpose, you know, I've got Nana coming over. She's going to be happy to drive you to school, and she's going to stand next to you as you speak with the principal, and blah, 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 blah. You can create it however you need it to be. But the key is going to be, remember not to let this situation be your problem. Remain calm and happy. Doesn't matter to me either way. No problem, buddy. When your kid comes at you with this sentence of defiance or like, I'm going to be late to school on purpose, you always reply, no problem, buddy. So keep that in mind. That's an example. Keep tuned for more videos because sometimes I'm going to give you examples of what we're doing in our house and sometimes I'm going to give you the principles of what I'm learning at this class. But hopefully this is a good way for you to learn little tidbits to make your home life and your relationships with your kids easier if you're not able to actually go in person to these classes, which I do highly recommend. But in the meantime, hopefully this is helpful. Thanks.